What up, what
Yo.
up? You already know we're here for another season of the California
Stoners League.
Fantasy. You already know this is the Fantasy Foos. That's who we be. We're out here bringing you the latest dopest shit. Letting you guys know what popped off in our draft. What up, what up?
Yeah.
You guys ready for another league? We got the champ with me to the right, you know what I mean? The new GOAT.
Yeah.
Last year I was the GOAT, but it's a back-to-back champion right here, and he done earned it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just his co-host, but we're going to get right into it. We had a dope draft, you know what I'm saying? To be honest, I think everybody did amazing.
Yeah.
Like, for this year, everybody was on top of their stuff. I didn't really feel like anybody was too far behind or wasted too many draft picks or anything like that. So it's going to make for a good league. Even when we did our rankings right now, that took like so much time to figure it out because literally like every team could have been anywhere from like the end to the front. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple teams that on paper look a little better than others, and there's a couple teams because of, you know, injuries or whatever right now they look a little bit weaker. But overall, even the highest ranked team could lose to the lowest ranked team, like easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
this is not like a shoe-in, like.
And these are early projections too, so we could be totally wrong during the middle of the season. Maybe we could make mid-season projections.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna hit you guys with the quarter projection after another 4 games, and then rankings. We'll re-rank you guys in the 4 games after you guys hit the waiver wire. David, we know how you like to go out there and hit that waiver wire. You know what I'm saying?
This is information from what we have as of now, but no games played.
So for our rankings right now, we're gonna go ahead and start from the bottom and move our way up. You know what I'm saying? At 14, remember, you might be ranked 14 right now. This is just according to us. It's a sleeper app. They got their own rankings. You can go and check them out. They're a little different. They're pretty similar to this, but not quite exactly the same. I'm actually number 1 on the Fantasy Sleepers app. I appreciate that. Shout out Fantasy Sleepers.
Yep.
But anyways, right here, 14, we got Frankie. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It was, like I said, it was a tough league. It was a tough draft. Frankie, he's a staple in the league as far as making the playoffs. Consistently good. He's won a championship before. He's won multiple in other leagues. He does his thing. So for him to be ranked right now, power rankings before the season at a 14, that just goes to show you how great everyone drafted across the board.
Yeah, I mean,
he never drafts back.
And he got Jonathan Taylor too, and he got hurt. I mean, he's not hurt, but he's hurt and not wanting to play with the team at the same time. So that affects his rankings too.
So after he comes back, things happen. We'll see where he shifts in the power rankings. But next on the list, we got Isaiah, my man, the champ. The real champ, you know what I mean? We out here faking the fun. Check it out. If you happen to be listening to this across YouTube just because you're checking out some 14-man league stuff, then check out my boy Isaiah Munoz. Look him up. Amateur fighter, champion, 559 fights.
He has a real belt.
He has a real belt, you know. But his team came in 13th. We got him ranked right there. He had everybody's kind of tight in there. He's just a little weaker quarterback right now with like a couple other teams.
And then the Dobbins is kind of iffy.
It's unknown.
Off from last year.
Exactly. So but he does got Tyreek Hill and Amari Cooper. So a lot of people are kind of shy on Amari Cooper this year, but they were last year also.
There's no reason to.
There's no reason to.
He shows you why he should be picked every year.
Exactly. And then next we got, right after that, the purple belt, the purple belt himself, Mr. Nicky Moon. You know what I mean? The more uncool Munoz. He came in at 13th. He had a higher draft pick, so he ended up with McCaffrey. Did he get McCaffrey or no?
No, he got.
He got Tony Pollard. He went with Tony Pollard
in the first round.
So represent. He got his guy. I'm not saying jump for you. He didn't jump for him. He took the guy that he wanted, and a lot of people do agree with him, including the champ right here. Really, his high hopes on him. I'm not as high on him this year, but he just ended up with a little bit tighter, like at Montgomery in his flex spot and a couple other things. So we got him ranked at 13. And right after that, we got Baby Blunt. You know, Baby Blunt always does his thing. He likes to be eccentric and get his young guys all the time. He has his own style of doing it, but he always puts up a fight. He'll get in there. So we have him there. Right after that, we got the champ himself. So, wow, that was a little bit low on the rankings maybe for him, but he went ahead and anybody that wasn't there, out here watching, he had himself a draft this year. He picked Cooper Kupp. He was everyone. His guys kept getting taken. Everybody was harassing him because he's the champ. They were just screaming in his ear. They weren't letting him think. They were rushing him, and everyone had fun at his expense at the draft this year.
I'm gonna have to work the wire.
But,
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I like this stuff. I like this type of stuff.
That's what happens when you're champ. So after that, we got his big bro, Big Bo. You know what I'm saying? Coming in. He's got himself a nice team too. This is a real solid team across the board. He's even got himself a decent bench, pretty good depth.
Yeah.
Another team that chose to go a little bit later on the quarterback. He has Geno Smith, so he's might have to play the wire or just rely on a mid-tier quarterback.
Yeah.
But the rest of his team looks real good.
Yeah,
he's solid across the board. He went with Barkley in his one. He got Rashid White and Deebo Samuel and Keenan Allen. So
and he still has Mostert.
He's a George Pickens too. There's a little look out for him later in the segment. You know what I'm saying?
Bo, that's a nice team.
Little teaser, but I like Bo's team. It's a shame he had to come in a little bit later on the list, but he's in the middle of the pack. That's number 8 right there. Coming in 7th, we got Mr. Dirty Diggs himself, you know what I'm saying? You've seen him on the podcast sitting up here in the nasty yellow shorts. Mr. David himself out here, and this is the highest he's ever been ranked in our rankings pre-draft. Feel like he's been studying hard since June. Mm-hmm. He's tired of not making the playoffs. He's tired of coming in last place and grabbing Wiener Awards. So he's actually ranked higher than the champ is on my board, and the champs actually.
He has a good team.
We're proud of him. We're proud of David this year right now. We're rooting for you. He went with 2 rookie running backs. Excuse me, with Robinson and Gibbs. And I'm not as afraid of that combination as a lot of other people might be. Yeah. There's reasons for that. I'll bring that up later in another segment on why I'm not too worried about the rookie.
It doesn't matter the rookies there.
But
it'll be fine.
So now we're getting into the playoff teams right here. According to this, all these teams should be in the playoffs if their teams keep stacking up. And first thing I want to do is congratulate the true OG of the league. You know what I'm saying? Our one and only, our resident you know what I mean? Mr. Chris O himself, the host, the man, the myth, the legend. Hey, I don't know if he just followed the best available pick or what he did to be able to draft like this, but he was drafting right around me in the league, and he was stealing my guys like, Garrett Wilson on this way.
Yeah.
He's asking me, and I'm like, don't ask me, I want that guy.
Yeah.
But he did good, and he picked himself a team. He should be in the playoffs. Next, we got Chimichanga, the man himself, Mr. Wolverine, Mr.
Al Borland.
Yeah, Al Borland, hardworking, making sure that Sanger Field is mowed just right. The greatest lawnmower you'll ever have. You won't come across a guy that can mow a better man than him, other than maybe Larry Bird. Besides Larry Bird, I'm gonna have to say my boy cuts a clean grass. His team is ranked 5th. He went with Josh Allen, so his team looks good across the board. He's got Bryce Hall and Jamal Williams starting off. He's going to get us a good start with Alvin Kamara for the first 4 games. Yeah. He's got Chase and Christian Watson, but what I really like that he did is he stacked Christian Watson with Romeo Doubs. So if you're not too sure which one's going to be the guy, at least you have the guy. Hopefully one of those two will emerge clearly as the number 1 guy, and he'll have him. So that I like the way he went there.
And he has Deontay Johnson as his flex, and I think Deontay Johnson could pass Watson.
Again, he might look for his name in a segment a little later. You know what I'm saying? Might have to bring him up. So now we're getting into the top 4 teams right here, right outside of the money. So in 4th, we got Stevie B himself, Mr. Great White Buffalo, Mr. whatever, Cal-Al,
Stevie's team's good enough to be a number 1 team. All these teams are right here, I think.
Yeah, once you get up into this list of these top 4, we kind of tiered them out a little bit. Yeah. I think these top 4 teams, we could have put any one of them, to us anyways, we could put any one of them in the 1st and any one in the 4th. We didn't, and mind you, we don't exactly agree on these exact spots. We just kind of compromised and gave a consensus overall pick. I had guys a little higher than other guys and a little lower. He had different guys higher and lower, and we kind of swapped them until we kind of agreed and went with that. So Stevie was one of those, you know, and he came in fourth. He's got himself a solid team across the board. He got Justin Fields, who should be amazing this year. Derrick Henry. The only concern I might have is you don't know what Javonte Williams is going to do, if he's going to quite be what he is capable of, you know, after the injury. But besides that, he's got Mark Andrews, you know, a really solid team across the board. So I like where he's going.
His stars will make up for maybe the lack of production from his flex. Exactly. His stars are stacked.
So next we're going to go right into the money top three. Like we said, any of these can be arranged. And that team is yours truly, you know, the future champ, the multiple champ, only other multiple champ in the league, you know. Between us two sitting right here, I believe we have 5 titles and like 8 Super Bowl appearances in a 14-man league that's been going on for a while. So
we're basically having it most of the time.
And I drafted pretty good. I liked it. I kind of didn't get stuck to one guy. You know, I wasn't I actually made a move. I picked the number 1 draft pick, but I knew that I didn't want. I take that back. I kind of did get stuck. I knew I didn't want Justin Jefferson. I know. I'm putting this out here on the internet, recorded for the world to see. But I didn't want Justin Jefferson, and I knew that I could talk to the guy who got the 3rd pick, swap picks with him, and then I would get a quicker pick on the turnaround on the snake. So I did that knowing that I was happy with either Christian McCaffrey or Austin Eckler. So I did that. He picked him. The 2nd pick got Christian McCaffrey. It left me with Austin Eckler. I didn't have to make a choice at that point. It just kind of fell right to me. I grabbed him, and then from that point, I kind of kept doing the same thing. I just got who I thought was the best available. I didn't even look at position. You know, I just got best available. I went late on a quarterback. I'm really rolling the dice here. I got Danny Dimes as my starting this week, you know. And I did pick up Kirk Cousins, a little bit more of a safety net in case anything. But I have a lot of faith in Daniel Jones this year. A lot of upside, and you'll hear about him for that reason a little later. So next, the 2 big teams we got going on are number 2, big ups to Big Revo. We really liked your team this year. I think you did solid. You have a lot of guys that I wish I had on my team, and a lot of guys that I could think could be league winners or finish number 1 at their spot. So, and a couple of the guys that I don't like that you have on your team, like Christian Kirk and who else was
Marquise Brown.
Marquise Brown. Those guys are really good safety nets. Like they have a really high floor still for what you know what they are. You know they're going to give you something. It's not like they're just going to complete out bust. They just might not be able to high volume produce. And I think you got a lot of other players that are going to high volume produce for you. So that steady stream of dependency, I feel like can really.
Stars are going to be your stars.
Exactly. And those guys are going to And you never know when later on in the as Kyler Murray comes back, Marquise Brown could step into that star type role, that wide receiver too. You know, especially in a 14-man league. Anybody out there watching this that isn't in this league, just checking it out. We're a 14-man league. And we're going to get into some sleepers and stuff. A lot of times we do talk about things that have to do with like 14 compared to 12 or 10-man leagues. So all the guys we talk about, they're going to come in handy when we talk about waiver wire ads or people that you might want to target, you know, or breakout guys. We're talking about guys that a lot of other people's might not even put on their roster.
We're not picking up
in 10-man leagues.
We're not picking up stars from the waiver wire.
we have to play these guys. You know, they're not just like, you know, deep darts. So if you're playing in deeper leagues, this might be a podcast for you to get some extra little opinions. And the number 1 team this year, power ranking off the draft. I don't know what he did different, but he's never been anywhere this high. He's another team that's never won. There's a whole lot of teams that's never won a championship. We've been going on like 9 years now. And it is Esther. Congratulations, you know what I mean? I know that Garza and Nicky Moon are going to be proud of you. You know, they're going to be fighting over which one gets to take you out to dinner over this award achievement you just accomplished. But I mean, you got like, I'll just name his team off, and to me in a 14-man league, it doesn't sound anywhere, it sounds good everywhere. He's got Trevor Lawrence, Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Calvin Ridley, Devontae Smith, David Njoku, Stephon Diggs, Tyler Bass. You know, he's waiver wiring his defense as any good person who plays fantasy football should. His bench, he's still got some bench. He picked up Kareem Hunt, who has no team, but with a starting lineup like that, imagine being able to sit there and have him come back later, go to a team that he can step in and have a predominant role with the player that he is. There's just a whole lot of upside for that. He's got Juju Smith-Schuster. He has Antonio Gibson and Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
So, which is gonna, I mean, you never see Mac is injury prone. The Niners have a high-powered offense. Like I said, he has a really good team already to start with. To have a guy like that ready to handcuff and step in and be the next man up, that can step in right to your RB1 role. You know what I'm saying? That's a really good spot to be in. So we're liking your team, Esther. We think you know, like you said, any of these teams could have been there, but for different reasons, we all kind of agreed on him being number one.
He's by far all of
top to bottom. And so those are our power rankings pre-draft. Again, this is preseason, post-draft.
Cool.
So this is a lot of things are going to change. A lot of things are going to happen. Injuries, you know, players, breakouts. We'll see how everyone attacks the waiver wire. It's not just about grabbing that guy off the waiver wire, but it's also about having the patience to not drop him right away and give him to somebody else. You know, maybe you want to soak that little bit of info in right there, David. That was specifically for you. But we're going to go in, so we're going to break down a couple things for the whole season right now. We're going to go ahead and start next with the sleepers, and let's do breakout stars. We're doing breakout stars next, and these are guys that we believe for sure are going to be stars. Last year they might not have been stars, and this year we think they're going to take that jump up for sure. And these guys can be, you know, high target value guys. They don't have to be guys that are down there. They can be guys that are taken in the first 4 rounds or whatever, but just maybe didn't have that star role last year, and we think they're going to step into it. So I'll go first. My first one is going to be a guy I just talked about on Bo's team is George Pickens. Okay, this man is 6'3", 200 pounds. He had a little bit of trouble breaking away from the defense last year and creating separation, but he still managed to put up decent numbers, and that's with the quarterback that also struggled in his rookie year. So this year, he has another year. Hopefully the quarterback will get a little better, and even without that, he was still able to jump. Without the separation, he was able to jump up, catch the ball. I think he's going to have a big jump up in the fact he will be able to get separation this year. So last year, he was actually coming off. That was his first year back from an ACL injury in college. So if a lot of people, if you know anything about, you know, especially ACL injuries and those kinds, they tend to take 2 years to come back from. That it takes a while for them to really feel comfortable and really feel confident in stepping off of it and moving and not being able to hit and make the cuts. So this is his second year back. I'm sure he'll do a lot better at that. And overall, I just think he has a lot of opportunity to step in as that star and break out in his second year.
And to add on to that, I think Kenny Pickett is going to have a really good year this year. I don't know if he's going to be like outrageously like, oh, this guy is like surprising us, but he's going to be way better than last year, and I think he's going to add on to the hype of your George Pickens pick.
Yeah, and I like it. Okay, so moving right on. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, I got for my sleeper in no order. I got
no. This is. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
No, but it's we're doing whatchamacallits? Stars, right?
Breakout stars.
Breakout stars. Oh, then I'm sorry. I gave you my sleeper. I apologize.
That was a sleeper.
Rookie mistake right here. You know, hey, it's our first episode back.
Yeah.
So that was our sleepers. Well, I guess we'll just do the sleeper segment since we're here. These are sleepers. These are guys, and again, George Pickens. That's you got him in the late round. He's going deeper in rounds. He's very ready, available. You're not drafting this man as your number 1 or even your number 2 receiver. So the fact he can step up and win a league for you, you know, he's the type of player, if you hit on those other guys and this guy does what he is capable of doing, he's going to win your league for you. You know, so
okay, I got for one of my sleepers, I got Jahan Dotson from the Washington Commanders. This is gonna be, I think this is gonna be his alpha year considering the wide receivers on the Commanders, a lot of people like Terry McLaurin, and I get it and I understand why. But I just think it's time for. I mean, he's had his time, and we saw what he does, and he's a really good wide receiver too. But I think Jahan Dotson could maybe surpass him this year with his skills and he has really good speed, and his I feel like he catches really. He has his depth of routes are really. He has a lot of yards with that, and then Sam Howell's like more of a rushing quarterback this year. That's gonna be like being able to like slide out of the pocket and make some more time for him to be getting separation from the wide receiver.
Just to create plays on his own.
Yeah, so I think Jahan Dotson, even though Terry McLaurin is gonna be good too, I think Jahan Dotson is gonna be like, oh, I should have got that guy. That guy was a sleeper for sure.
Well, and like you said, Terry McLaurin does have a toe injury also right now,
Yeah,
so they're going to start the season. Even if he does play week 1, it's probably going to be limited, or he's not going to be up to 100% yet. So
and he won't be 100% till it's not just because he's ready to play doesn't mean he's 100% the first game.
And I do like this is the second year he's coming into the league. They usually do have that sophomore. They like to say, if you know, in fantasy football, wide receivers they have a sophomore boost. You know, that second year they tend to really break out.
Yeah.
And so, moving right on, the next league winner or potential sleeper this might not sound like a sleeper when you hear the name because of the name, but when you see where he's being drafted and the quarterback he has available at him right now, you'll understand, and it's Mike Evans. Mm-hmm. So he's getting drafted really late. A lot of people are down on him, you know, because Tom Brady's gone, Baker Mayfield, he isn't much. But if you've followed the history of Mike Evans at all, you've known that he didn't have any quarterback before he had Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Every quarterback he played with was basically a Baker Mayfield type quarterback. Mm-hmm. So he's used to playing with that. Not only that, the number one reason why I have the utmost amount of faith in Mike Evans is simple, plain and simple. 2 words: chasing history. Mm-hmm. He's chasing history. He's trying to break Jerry Rice's record for the most consecutive seasons with over 1,000 yards receiving. So he's going to do everything. Not only is he going to do everything he can, but his organization is going to do everything they can for him to do it, because they want that title to come back to their organization. Yeah. They want those accolades to be over there with them. They don't want him in San Francisco. They want him with them. So they're going to give him every opportunity they can. So I do like him to get over the 1,000 yards this year. And where you're getting him, if he hits like he's supposed to and plays to that top ability that he's capable of, you just hit a home run and you have a great chance of winning your league. So there's another league winner sleeper for you right there.
Okay, well, my next one is I got Deontay Johnson, and it's crazy he got Pickens and I got Johnson. But
I like it.
They both do different things. You know, Pickens is the big catch guy. You know what I mean, and Deontay Johnson is like the Amon-Ra St. Brown and the Cooper Kupp type of guy. Guy for their team, and
Well, and he had a bunch. He only had like how many touchdowns did he have last year? It's like an insane amount of low touchdowns.
Like
it has to be, like they always say, you have to regress, right? When someone hits 2,000 yards, you can't do it again. Well, when someone's getting targeted as much as a guy like Deontay Johnson gets targeted, and he has 1 touchdown or no touchdowns,
wow.
It's impossible for that to happen again. I'm willing to lay whatever money down that he definitely has more than 0 touchdowns next year.
He's one of the most targeted wide receivers in the whole NFL. So you might not know that, but if you look at the numbers, he's really targeted. Like, this guy is like that's what keeps him afloat with his not so like productive like yards of the past years and touchdowns. It's the opportunities that he has. He's gonna get his opportunities, and I think that's the number one thing in all fantasy football. You need opportunities and targets more than all this. He's probably on the better team, but I like targets and opportunities.
I agree. Well, that's the only way to get any points is touches, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have the ball in your hand to get So I understand it. That's why sometimes people, it's a little misleading when people like percentages, target percentages. Yeah. The teams, 20% of the team's targets, you know? Mm-hmm. But 20% of the Atlanta's targets last year was like 5. You know what I mean? That you don't want 5 targets to your receivers. So You just got to be aware of the numbers because they matter.
Yeah.
My last one for the sleepers and league winners is going to be Trevor Lawrence, and he is going as the 8th quarterback off the draft. He's like that bottom, the last one of that tier that you just kind of feel confident about, or at least me anyways. And I feel he has all the weapons, and he's shown all the capability for him to take a big leap this year and really step into a role. Kind of like he could even be like the Jalen Hurts of last year. You know what I'm saying? So with that kind of production, and you're able to get him towards the 7th round, it leaves you a lot of room instead of having to jump really high for one of these other guys in the 3rd round. All the 2nd round or whatever it is for these really good guys. So when you can get close to that production in the 7th and build your team with more better overall depth. So,
yeah, and then they added Calvin Ridley to the team.
Exactly. So
the Jaguars are pointed up. That whole team is pointed up.
Yeah,
I think.
They're on the upslope. I like it. I'm ready to go. Take that escalator all the way to the top with them.
All right, my next one is. It's pretty obvious. I'm pretty sure if we haven't mentioned them, you know what we're talking about, and you're following along. Alexander Madison for the Vikings. I think he's had the opportunities. He's had the opportunities before, and he's came through every time he's gotten the opportunities when Dalvin Cook was out. And Ty Chandler's behind him, and there's other guys behind him, and no one's near as. Even his build and the way he runs, he's the alpha, basically.
Yeah, there's basically nobody else on their depth chart.
No.
There's that way for a reason. They were willing to let go of Dalvin Cook for a reason. He's proven time and time again that every single time he puts up 20 fantasy points a game when he's the starter. So
for him to be bad, the Vikings just have to suck. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen.
Nobody thinks that.
They're going to be there. As long as they're fucking, they do what they've been doing for the past years, he's gonna have the opportunities, and I mean Justin Jefferson's gonna catch the ball so many times, and he's gonna fall down. He's gonna probably fall down by the 5-yard line, stuff like that.
Those are our sleepers and league winners. So if you got any of those guys on your team, you're looking good to potentially shoot up the rankings. If your other guys hit, they do what we think they're capable of doing, you're sitting real good.
Yeah.
So before we move on right now, with guys, this is the California Stoners League. We usually start this episode off every time with a bong hit, but again, we're just too excited right now. It's the first episode back. We fucking missed all you bums. Excuse my language. I'm gonna hit this right now because at the end of the day, we're a Stoners League, and cheers.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right on, we're going to get right into what I thought we were doing in the first segment, which was the breakout stars. So these are everybody that we believe is going to be a star this year. For whatever reason, they weren't, they haven't been, and some of these can coincide with the breakout with the league winners and sleepers. They don't have to be a high-ranked guy. They could be more of a sleeper. It's just guys that we feel are going to be stars after they're set up and poised to take a big jump and become stars. And my first guy is James Cook. They got rid of Singletary. They let him go for a reason. Okay, he came on hot late last year, which sets up for a good. He has a whole nother offseason, a whole year to learn the offense, to get more acquainted with the offense. And I just feel like the type of way they use him in the high-powered offense that they are with Josh Allen and the dump-offs and the run and dumps, he's just a perfect utility-type weapon for their style of running. And I know a lot of his touchdowns are going to get snaked by Josh Allen, but this is a PPR league, and I'm expecting him to be used very versatile, very like a Swiss Army knife, almost like a poor man's McCaffrey.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? On just a high-powered team. So, and like over there in I just like the way that they do everything with him. I feel confident in the way they're going to use him, and I'm not worried about any other additions they might have brought in as far as taking away his style of play. So I think he's going to make a big jump up. I think he has the opportunity to do it, and I think you're going to see a new star next year in James Cook.
See, one of my, what is this, the breakout stars?
Yep, breakout stars.
I got Rashard White, running back for the Buccaneers. he's gonna be the starting running back now, with no Uncle Lenny behind him. And I know the team's not looking too good, but I mean, the rushes that were split between him and Leonard Fournette last year got nowhere to go but him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, and I had him on my team last year when I won the championship.
And there's really nobody behind him.
Yeah, he's
Sean Tucker, right?
Yeah, Sean Tucker, but right. I mean, he's still,
again, he's a rookie.
Yeah,
we don't know much about him yet.
So I mean, Rashad White. I mean, he has the opportunities. He's a pass catching running back. He could be a little bit better. I mean, I guess when they hand him off the ball and through tackles, but I mean, like I said, this is like because of there's no one else behind them. The volume.
So it's almost going to be like a Najee Harris type approach to why he's going to be.
But he catches more. He catches more than Najee,
which is why you see star potential.
Yeah, star. And then and if he proves me wrong with his actual handing, after getting the ball handed off to him, then he's going to be able to exceed everything for sure.
If he's able to actually, I get you.
Yeah, but I still like him. He has the volume, the catches, and he's gonna outplay his draft position for sure.
Yeah. All right, next we're going with my guy right here. I'm actually going to pick a rookie. So I know I'm picking Jahmyr Gibbs next, and I know you would assume like, well, why not Bijan Robinson?
Yeah.
Well, because to me, where he's getting drafted in the draft right now, how high he's getting drafted, he's basically being drafted as a star already. So I felt like that was too easy to call a breakout star because he's already being drafted as a star. We already expect.
I'm trying to tell you something that you might not know.
But I am going with Jahmyr Gibbs, and I do think you get a lot of value out of him where you're drafting him because even though he's a rookie, all I care about are stats that I feel matter. And in the NFL, they don't draft rookie running backs in the first round that high. They don't do that ever. It's rare that they ever use a running back that gets drafted in the top 12 picks. So rare that anytime any running back has ever been drafted in the top 12 picks of the NFL draft, they went on in fantasy that rookie year to be a top 5 fantasy running back.
Yep.
So
foolproof.
It's almost foolproof. If he doesn't make it and he doesn't become a top 5 running back, then this is going to be the first time.
Yeah,
and that's okay. I'll take those odds. You know what I'm saying? I'm totally fine with that. And he's set up to win. He's on a team where they're already talking about how they're going to use him in a bunch of different ways. Okay, I don't quite believe in the other running backs around him that they have.
Yeah.
I think that their offense is high powered. I think they don't have a lot of other weapons. Who else? He very well could be the number 2 target behind Amon-Ra St. Brown because Jameson Williams is still he's not coming
suspended.
They just got rid of Hawkinson. They have a rookie tight end. So like legitimately, there's a clear-cut window where he could be the number 2 receiver on the team along with being the running back. You know, so I like him for a breakout star this year. I think he's going to do it as a rookie, and I think you're not going to be able to get him in the 3rd round of the draft next year like you were this year.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and move on to the next.
Another one of my guys for this section is going to be Chris Olave. Wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints. He ended up being, well, some people will say that he was even better than Garrett Wilson last year, but Garrett Wilson got the MVP. Yeah. If you look at the numbers, they're basically
arguably the MVP.
Yeah, and then now and Chris Olave did this with I mean, I know Garrett Wilson did it with nobody too, but I'm talking about Chris Olave. Chris Olave did it with Andy Dalton and these guys. I mean, I can't even remember who else was there. But and now they got Derek Carr. Derek Carr is the reason, a big reason why I got him to be even better than last year. Or else, I mean, I would have him good, but the addition of Derek Carr even makes it even better. And they got, and not to mention, they have one of the easiest one of the easiest schedules maybe the easiest schedule out of everybody this year. So
pay attention to that kind of stuff because it does help when figuring out who you like and stuff like that. So right now, obviously things change. And these easy schedules might not be as easy as we thought, but as of right now on paper, the schedule's looking pretty.
It's the schedule, the new quarterback, what he did last year, and him being it's his 2nd year. So it's like he got all the arrows are pointed up, and like if you watch football and you get to watch Chris Olave, you'll know why I picked him right there, and I'm really confident in him. And I think Gargy got him. Good job, Gargy.
Yeah, that is a good job. All right, and so that was a good segue into my guy. I like the way you did that. But speaking of Garrett Wilson, that's going to go ahead and be my last breakout star of the year for the same reason. He just hit a lot of the same points like the Rookie of the Year last year. So you could almost call that already a breakout he did last year. But I really think he's going to jump another leap right now from just being the Rookie of the Year to being one of the top 5, receivers off of the board next year.
Yeah,
so and the main reason for that is, last year he had Zach Wilson and
Joe
whoever else throwing to him. And this year he has Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So he might be old, but he's still Aaron Rodgers. And if you know anything about Aaron Rodgers, he likes to hyper-focus on his guy.
Yeah.
He grabs a guy, he picks his guy, and he hyper-focuses on his guy. If he trusts you, he's throwing the ball to you.
He's calling him Devontae Adams.
He's already been calling him Devontae Adams. Everything about it said he's going to, it's just lining up beautifully for them to come in here and just put on a show, and I'm all for it. I got my popcorn ready. I'm ready to watch Garrett Wilson just ball his way up.
They can go to the Super Bowl, so everything's pointed, like the defense.
And that was a good job, Chris. He stacked him with Aaron Rodgers. He stole him. I really wanted him.
I don't know if he did it on purpose. But that was tight.
He did that. He jumped. So Chris has a great team. I feel he jumped early for Aaron Rodgers, but his team still worked out, so it didn't affect him. I just think he could have got him about 3 rounds, 4 rounds later, and put some more depth in his team. But hey, he did it the way he did it. He made sure he got his guys, and that's why he got his guys. And I'm sitting here sad because he stole my guys.
If he jumped, then he's still above about more than half of us. You know what I mean? We think.
All right, so that's all we got as far as the predictions and stuff like that. Everything pertaining to full season right now. We're gonna go ahead and get into our normal weekly stuff right now, and we got Knowledge's picks of the week and Bogart's hot takes. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Knowledge's picks of the week. Did you do your hot takes?
I don't know.
Oh no, wait, we need bold predictions.
Well, bold predictions.
We don't have
hot takes.
We don't have hot takes this week. My bad.
Yeah.
So bold predictions. So we're gonna hit you with some bold predictions of the year. We do. We're fancy. The last one right here, this is what we like. This is our favorite one as far as predictions for the year, because we get to get a little crazy with it. It's okay if we're not right. We get to play. We get to wear our heart on our sleeve and throw things out there. So I'll start it off. And my bold prediction, my first one, I was just talking about how I got him as my quarterback, Mr. Danny Dimes himself. I got Daniel Jones will have more than 800 rushing yards and will finish inside the top 8 quarterbacks.
8?
So,
I thought you were going to say 10.
No, 8, which tells me that guy that I just told you could win a league, Justin Lawrence, he is the number 8th ranked quarterback. Yeah. That means somebody from Justin Lawrence or higher, one of those names that you 100% trust. And you would, if I sat here and named every single quarterback off in the top 8 and asked you, is Daniel Jones going to finish higher than this quarterback? You would say I'm crazy on every single one of them. But he's going to knock one of them out. Which one? I don't know. Don't make me ask. But he's going to knock one of them out. He's finishing in the top 8 and he's rushing for 800 yards. He's doing his thing this year. Look out. And I'm going to go on. I'm going to throw something extra spicy. If they have a really winning record before the end of the trade line, if they're doing hot and the Raiders are doing bad, there's going to be a mid-trade season trade, Devontae Adams to the Giants to give him a little extra. Yep, they're going to give Danny Dimes after he tears it up. There we go.
Those are his words. I didn't say that,
Bold
guys.
prediction.
It's his predictions.
That extra one was just some spice on top, but 800 yards.
It just so happens Danny Dimes is on his team.
It was. I don't know why. That's a coincidence.
Is he? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I had no idea. I forgot. That's who I picked.
Okay.
All right. So bold prediction.
My next bold prediction is Herbert's gonna be a top. I think he could be I want to say number 1, but I don't know if I could put him over one of those running quarterbacks.
Top 2?
I say top 2. He could be better.
I'll let it slide.
Yeah. Justin Herbert would be a top 2.
Where's he ranked? He's ranked 7th, right? He's the 7th ranked quarterback off the board.
He's around there. But I mean, the 2 years last year he was hurt. I mean, I blame it on last year was a bad season. He was hurt. You know what I mean? And then the year before that. I mean, I don't really know what like. I see the numbers right. I don't have all the actual stats, but he was probably a top 5 quarterback. I think maybe a top 3 quarterback, and that was like that might have been.
I think he's very Josh Allen-esque in the way that he uses his arm and blends his arm and his legs.
Yeah. He was since his rookie year, he's been really good.
Yeah, he came in and just tore it up.
He just came in. So yeah, last year was just the year that that's why everyone's down on him this year. And I think he's gonna go back to being what he was the previous years before he was injured last year. And then they got I think the offense. Yeah, they got the offensive coordinator Kellen Moore from the Dallas Cowboys, and he has CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup and those guys, and I think he runs a really proficient offense, and he's gonna help out with Herbert. Dak is Dak. You know what I mean? Herbert's like wow. You know, so the Chargers and Herbert, I think they're gonna score a lot of points. I think, and then with Austin Eckler, and then they got to beat the Chiefs to even try to attempt to make a wild card or playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, Justin Herbert's going to be a number 2 running back. I wish I had more stats. All
right. My next one right here, I'm going to take a little bit of a negative approach on this one. I normally don't like to do that, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I'm a little bit more down on a guy than a lot of everybody else. And I will gladly eat my words when I'm wrong at the end of the year, but for all intents and purposes, I do not think that Tony Pollard. I think he will finish outside of the top 10, maybe even the top 15 at running back this year. So I just think that they're going to be a really pass-forward team this year. I think that Dak Prescott is going to want to put it on his shoulders. He's going to want to prove he has something. They just got the addition of Brandon Cooks, which is going to be able to space these out a little bit more. Michael Gallup is still kind of slept on as their third receiver because they got one of the best receivers in the league in CeeDee Lamb. A lot of people are picking the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That takes a lot on everything to come together. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying, in order for that to happen, I really think they're going to have to be a prolific, high-powered offense as far as the pass game. And I just think that Tony Pollard hasn't done anything besides that as far as proven to be able to show capable to be a 3-down back, to be a bell horse and a bell cow. So I do think they're going to use the new little rookie in sparring spots. They got a couple guys too, and they got the backup behind him, Rico
Denzel,
and so
and Ronald Jones.
I think they're going to once he gets back, you know what I'm saying. I think they're going to sprinkle a lot of them in. It's going to be more of a committee than you think, and along with the fact that they're relying on the pass offense too, and they got a really good tight end this year, a rookie that they have. Dak Prescott's talking about he's going to be in the Hall of Fame by the end of his career. Yeah. So obviously you need to slow down there, whoa. But at the same time, maybe he's feeding them the ball a lot more. There's a lot more around throw the ball, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull back the ratings on Tony Pollard a little bit and say he's outside of the top 10.
I don't think
at least.
That's
maybe
a bold
even
prediction,
top
though.
15.
That's a bold prediction, though. Okay. My bold prediction for this year coming up, it's probably the boldest one. I think Nick Chubb is going to finish RB1.
I like it.
Over Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh, I don't like it. I take it
over
back.
Austin Eckler.
No.
Over the elite pass catchers, if you know what I'm saying. But I think this is the year for him. There's gonna be no Kareem Hunt. I don't even think the guy behind him is even. I think he's probably injured, and they got another nobody. I mean, I don't mean to say that, but fuck like that. But let's see. Yeah, his rushes are there, and the only thing he needs to improve on is his catching, and that's all I'm hearing about this year is that he's gonna catch more, he's gonna catch more, he's gonna catch more.
They're saying they're gonna keep throwing the ball. That's all they keep talking about.
I honestly think that he is.
And if that's the case, he's the best pure runner.
That's what I was gonna say. He's way. I mean, hiking the ball, handing it off to him. There's no one better in the NFL.
Obviously, you also have Derrick Henry that's arguably right there with him.
Yeah.
But pure runners, they're in a class of their own. So he is. If you add that element,
I think
that could be crazy.
Real NFL. If you ask real NFL players, they'll probably tell you, Nick Chubb is probably the best running back in the NFL.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't have the fantasy appeal like that, and I think the targets and the receptions are going to go way up, And I think, what did I say he was gonna have last year? He had like 32 receptions, and I'm thinking maybe.
Oh, he's gonna have at least 50.
50? I think 50. He's gonna have 50 receptions this year.
Finish RB1 with 50 catches.
Yep.
That's
I don't
a
know how
bold
many
one
touchdowns.
right
I didn't think of the touchdowns, but there's gonna be some touchdowns within those catches. And I think Deshaun Watson is another year with them. Hopefully he's. I mean, he's even when he's not as good as everyone thinks he is, he's still a viable quarterback to get people the ball, you know what I mean? And the Browns defense is pretty decent to keep them in games, and the offense is looking better than the previous years. I really like Nick Chubb this year.
All right, so we got one more right now. We're on my last one, bold prediction for the year. Let's keep it spicy. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Commanders, are going to go ahead and produce 2, not 1, but 2 top 20 wide receivers this year. And my boys Terry Scary and Juwan Dotson are going to finish inside the top. So you know what that means? What that means is my boy Sam Howell, look for him on the waiver wire when you need to start a quarterback. He might be gone already. He's going to be an option. Legit, especially in our 14-man league. He's going to be a legit starting option this year, multiple times throughout the whole season.
Especially on a full moon. Too.
Yeah, especially on a full moon. He's going to come through. He's going to hit Terry Scary. He's going to be howling at Terry Scary on a full moon. This is beautiful. You know, Juwan Dotson's going to be running all over the place, stealing people's trick-or-treat baskets, taking their candy all the way into the house, and they're going to be two-stepping all the way into the 2 top 20s.
The kids running amok, looking
egging
houses,
egging
houses and everything.
Yep, they're
stealing candy bags and everything.
They
kicking over pumpkins.
All that. That's how they're coming in against all your teams. Kicking off your pumpkins, egging your houses, toilet papering your trees, taking their dubs. Top 20.
And that's the Commanders.
The Commanders, Sam Howell, the Commanders.
Terry McLaurin, John Dodson.
Last
okay.
one.
Oh, I have another one. Okay.
One more.
Oh, this one is pretty spicy. I got one of the rookie tight ends, Luke Musgrave. I think it's specifically Luke Musgrave, Sam Laporta, or Dalton Kincaid are going to make the top. I was going to say top 8, but 10, but he wanted me to go more spicy, so I say top 8, and they'll probably, one of them are going to beat out like Evan Ingram or Higbee or, you know what I mean, maybe not Freiermuth, but around that area.
I mean, a top 8 in a 14-man league is
rookie tight ends
that's
never,
very playable.
rookie tight ends, they have one, that's
like a curse.
Yeah, you don't play, that's one of the guys you don't play in fantasy football. Everyone knows that. Just as, like, it's like the opposite of the running backs getting drafted in the first round, you know what I mean?
All right, Stoners, we're about to wrap it up like we always do. Next week, we'll make sure we got Bogart's hot takes for you. You know what I'm saying?
I have a lot more information.
We just had a lot going on right now with all of the predictions and pre-draft stuff, but I did get with the Knowledge's picks of the week. You know, we can't start the week without Knowledge's picks of the week. So I'm going to hit you guys. Make sure you guys know you want to be on this list. You guys always act like you don't. But I'm right for a reason most of the time. The teams that I think are going to win usually do. And we'll start off right now. I had a hard time coming up with 2 teams. There's 2 matchups. It was Cal Al and Revo.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I forgot what his team name, the Butcher. Cal Al and the Butcher, and then Chimichancla and Baby Blunt's team. I had a really tough time. I was back and forth. I was sitting there battling on who I thought was going to win, and it came down to I kept going back and forth. And these are my picks, but those 2 right there are going to be the matchups of the week. They're really close, and they really could go either way. So the first pick of the week, I do got the Butcher beating Cal Al in week 1 in a tough matchup. I actually have Cal Al written down on my paper, but right before we started this, I was going over everything, and I switched it in the last second as I was going through the things back and forth. So it was crazy, but I had to go with the Butcher on that one.
Yeah.
The next one I got right here, he's going to be really happy. I got I Love Drake in London, getting himself his first win of the year right now, you know what I'm saying, against Nicky Moon. So I see him starting off the year at 1-0, talking big shit, slapping his balls all over the chat, you know what I mean?
He's going to be undefeated.
He's going to be undefeated, and he's just going to be like, let's go. He's basically in first place at that point, you know what I mean? Give him the trophy. And then next, I went with Just Win Baby. He's going to start. He had a rough year last year. I don't know. Throughout the whole season last year, he was one of the top 5 scoring teams, and he came in second to last place with only 2 wins. So somehow, even though he was top 5 in scoring, every single week he scored a lot of points, and he just played against like the highest scoring person every week. So it's like that was crazy that happened. Every time I kept saying it has to stop, it has to stop, and it never stopped. So that was a tough run last year, Bo, but I got you starting off this year at 1-0, getting yourself a nice victory, and starting it off feeling good. Next, besides that, another Oviedo. He's going to start himself out. Which one's it going to be? Because they play each other right here. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going with Chris Berman, the big Oviedo. The champ is going to have to start in the hole. I got the champ, the double champ right here, back to back. He's going to start 0-1 with a tough loss against a tough team.
Go Buffalo. Go Buffalo.
Let's see what happens. I got Chris Berman edging that one out in what was a close team, but I like Chris Berman's team to start. I can't root against him.
Chris impressed us.
Go Chris. I'm with you this year, you know. Next we got Chimichanga. This is the other one that I said was a game of the week. Him and Justin Jefferson team is really good. It's looks close, but I had to go with Chimichanga. I just like his depth a little more in his team. I think I like his overall stack. I don't like Njigba as much. That's what it is. If I were you, like throw a splash out there, I would not start him in week 1.
Like 4 weeks
putting that out. If you watch this, you'll see it, and maybe you should consider benching him for somebody else. Let me see if I look at your team real quick. Maybe even Daryl Mooney. I think I would start Daryl Mooney or even Zeke over him week 1. I cannot start a rookie 3rd string receiver. He's the 3rd receiver on a team that has Geno Smith as their quarterback, and it's his first game in the NFL, and he's coming off of an injury. Like, if he goes off for 30 points, cool. I would love to see that on my bench. But if I start him and get, .50 off of, or whatever, or 1.50 off of 1 catch for 5 yards or whatever it is, I'll just be upset. Like, why didn't I just wait and let him develop? You know what I mean? So that's what I would do if I were you. But I got Chimichanga winning for that main reason. It's a very close match. And then next I got Este. You don't get ranked number 1 in the power rankings to say that you're going to lose your first game of the week. That's an easy one, as you should be. And you're going to get off to a good week 1. I look forward to watching your guys tear it up, and we'll see what happens down the line. And next, as always, yours truly, going to start off 1-0, dominate against my boy Gargi. Hopefully Terry McLaurin, they rest him for 1 more week. He has a toe injury, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully they just let him get healthy. You don't want to accidentally aggravate it any worse than it already is, you know what I mean? And do any further damage to where you miss more time. So I say you just let him, and you know what, Jerry Jeudy too. I heard there's a chance he might play too. Yeah, let's just go ahead and have both of them wait 1 more week, okay? Make sure they get healthy, then Gargi's team can come wrapped in. I like that. But I'm playing Gargi's team. He's a little banged up. Hopefully both those guys hit the bench. If not, I should win either way, but it'll be a lot tougher.
Jalen Hurts or Christian McCaffrey are going to go 30-30.
Right? And as always, we're going to end this with Bull. We hope you guys are ready for the next week, ready for the next episode. Yeah. We're looking to have a lot more dope content for you guys, and anybody that happens to be watching that's not part of our league. We do 14-man league. We will have a lot more, sleepers and predictions, and we do a lot of our own analysis on who we think is going to do good or who we think you should add and drop. It's just another opinion on people who love this game, too much. So we're addicted to fantasy football like I'm addicted to golf. So I came straight from the golf course over here to record this for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll make sure I keep it going. We're gonna just keep the beautiful time going and just just keep going. Peace to my real ones, you know, as we hit a couple bong. And 2023, 2024 season is underway. It starts tomorrow. I hope all you guys are ready to get it. Come for this belt right here. I know I'm going to win it. It needs to stay inside of our podcast. If somebody else wins it, we're screwed.
Yeah,
you know?
I have no prop right here.
I'm scared you're going to lose the crystal. You know, Chris is gonna laugh at you because you beat right? He's gonna be like, I don't even care. I get drunk and pick whoever and I beat you.
I'm not as scared as someone who should be that lost Cooper Cup.